Hey folks, Lynn Curry here. I'm standing on a property that we are prepping to relocate the house that you see behind me from this lot to another lot outside of the city limits. What you also have behind me is a piece of property that we purchased and that we did a demolition on. We demoed that house a couple months ago, and what I'm going to walk you through today are the steps that you take on the property before either the relocation crew or the demo crew shows up. The steps are almost identical, so this information will be helpful no matter what you are working on. We've already gotten our demo permit, and we've also gotten our relocation permit. Obviously, we had the demo permit because we've already demoed the project. The permits through the City of Austin are almost identical. There's a little bit of different information that you have to provide to the city, but the bulk of the information and the process is the same. The department that we take it to is the same. Just as really top line highlights, you have to provide some information about the structures. The city's going to look at it from a historical standpoint and determine whether they want it to go in front of the Historic Commission to possibly be slated as a historic home in the city. And they're looking for a couple of things, but the main ones are, is this property architecturally significant in that they want to maintain it as a piece of Austin history, or did somebody that is important in Austin history live there that we may want to maintain it for those historical purposes. In both of these cases, the houses were not deemed historical, did not even go in front of the commission. It was administrative, so we were able to walk in with all the information that they required and walk out the same day with our permit, with a simple sign-off. So in prepping for the relocation and the demo on these two lots, the first thing we had to do was take care of some trees. We have protected trees on both lots, and that meant that we brought an arborist in to do a couple things. The first thing he did was he started treating them as far in advance as possible to get them ready for the trauma of construction. It's tough on these trees because we start moving the dirt around them, and there's a lot of stuff happening, and the roots go all the way through these lots and these really old trees. And so what we want to do is ensure that they're as healthy and as strong as possible. So the arborist starts coming out early and putting mulch down and fertilizing them and making sure they're as healthy as possible. The second thing he'll do before we start the actual relocation of this project, and he did before we started demo, was fence off the at least the half critical root zone or as much of the root zone as possible, so that construction crews don't get anywhere near them and don't pile things on top of them, don't hit them with the heavy machinery. Don't pour chemicals on them. We'll also put up signs, basically in both English and Spanish, saying that they are not to pour anything out, any buckets of water, any buckets of paint water, anything out near those trees and in those fenced-in areas. The City of Austin, this is a really big deal. The second thing we do is we call the gas company and start killing the gas lines and getting the gas meters disconnected. So with Texas Gas, which serves Austin and other cities in Texas, it's a two-step process. You first just call the main customer service number, and what you ask for them to do is remove the meters and turn off the service to the house. A crew comes out, they pull the meters, and they turn off the service, and that service that gets turned off is actually near the house. And then the second thing you do is you call another number, and you can call it the same day, and they will schedule it appropriately, and ask them to kill the gas service to the house. And when they kill the gas service to the house, they send out another crew that turns the gas off at the street so that there's no gas in the lines between the street and the property. The reason you do this is when you're doing a demo or a relocation, you have a lot of heavy equipment on the lots. You have you've got big trucks that are holding dumpsters, that are picking up a house, that are carrying heavy equipment, and the weight of that equipment can break some gas lines if they're not buried deep enough, or if the soil is moving enough, they can break those lines. The other thing you're doing is you're using bulldozers and you're scraping the ground for things like you're pulling up foundation and piers, and in doing that you could scrape under and grab one of those lines. And then lastly, a lot of times what you're doing is pulling up small trees, and those roots can be entangled in some of those gas lines. So what you want to make sure of is that you don't have any gas in those lines that can then be broken, or those lines can't be broken and then gas continually comes out of them, creating an explosion hazard and a fire hazard in the area. The next thing you want to do is have the electric meters pulled, and it's a similar process. Here in Austin, we call Austin Energy. We put in a request for them to turn off the electric to the property and pull the meters, and they come out and do that. Generally within a couple days. It's really quick. What I didn't mention before with the gas meters is it can be up to 15 days for them to actually kill the line from the street. The pulling of the actual gas meters is much quicker. It's a 3-day, 4-day process. With the water, what you want to do is leave it on at the street. So you'll turn it off at the street at your meter, and when you're doing the actual demo, if possible, and cut the lines that take it to the house. But you still want your meters active and your water on, so that during the demo and during the relocation, if the crews need to hook up a hose and spray water on the property or the lot, they can do so. The benefit of this is when you start doing these projects, a lot of times there's a lot of dust and debris that flies into the air, either from the siding on the house or the dirt on the ground. And by having a hose out there for them to spray, they can keep it settled a little bit more, which makes your neighbors happier. It's just a cleaner job. And then the final thing you want to do is pick up the phone and call the 1-800 call before you dig number, which you should be able to find online. And it'll take them about 7 days. And what they do is they've got a system in place that alerts all the utilities, including internet, phone, gas, water, that anything that could possibly be buried in the street or in the ground near your property. It alerts them, and they come out and they mark with paint on the street where all the lines are. And what this does is it lets everybody know where all the lines are, so that they can take extra precaution and try not to disturb any of those lines. So once you've taken care of those things, you're ready for your demo crew or your relocation crew to come in and do their job. So next time we meet, what I'm going to do is be out here with an arborist to start taking care of this tree, and we'll do a quick video walking through what he's doing, so that those of you that are in Austin have an idea of that process. See you soon.